and welcome to With a K Games. My name is Erica with a K.
And I'm Sarah with an H.
And we are playing Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. Woo! We kind of fixed the camera back to what it is supposed to be, I think.
Yeah.
You can still see the dogs though. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, puppies.
Hello, puppers.
Hello, puppers. I love you. Okay. Oh, so we were going to tell a Gus story.
Okay.
So, Sarah was playing with Gus, and they were playing tug of war with one of Gus's toys. And Gus, the way that he likes his toys to be is he will immediately, upon getting the toys, take all the stuffing out, and then he wants the skins of the toys, and that's his like beloved toy. And he's like, this is mine, I love it so much, and he'll just carry it around and play with it forever.
Yeah.
But because there's no stuffing in them, they're like a little bit fragile. So if you play tug of war, sometimes they will break in half. And Gus gets so sad. His face like freezes, like he's like, oh, courage. And then he stuffs both pieces in his mouth as if they're gonna glue back together. And he runs around and he howls and he howls and he howls.
But with the toys in his mouth.
With the toys in his mouth, yes. And he'll just cry and try to dig and bury them in the couch to see if he can magically heal them. And then they don't heal until eventually he gets over it.
But like, Erica had told me that he gets very upset when his toys break. And that he does. It's like, Erica had warned me.
Yeah.
But I had never witnessed it.
Let's go!
He'll eventually choose which side, like which half he prefers, and then we'll get rid of the other half.
And he truly, his mouth was like overflowing with toys, like, and he would just walk around and go, ooh, and I just figured he like howled once and then went and dug it. No, this is a prolonged mourning period.
Yes, he's very sad about it. Yeah, we looked up, okay, so when Gus was a baby, he started doing this. And I thought he was like choking when this was happening because he would stuff all the toys in his mouth. And he sometimes will stuff the scraps in his mouth and then he'll put another toy on top of it to hide that there's scraps in his mouth. Because he's like, don't look at me, don't look at my shame.
Don't look at my
Don't look at my shame.
Look at my sadness.
And so I was like, oh my god, is he choking? So I would like reach into his mouth and take them out, and then he would immediately stuff them back in and start crying again. And so I looked it up like, what is happening? And online, there was this one thing that said, our dog does this, and we just decided that he's worried that bandits are gonna come and get his favorite toys, so he's like crying and trying to hide them.
Protect them.
Yeah. And so now, whenever he howls, we're always like, oh, the bandits are coming.
The
He's
bandits are
Get
coming!
rid of the bandits. So that's what we call it. But it's such a weird niche thing that most dogs don't do.
So funny. I was like, this is so... Especially because the thing is, Remy doesn't play tug of war. He doesn't... If you pull on a toy in his mouth, he lets go because he's like, oh, you're taking the toy from me. Like, he's a very gentle dog. He will fetch toys that he likes that are, like, the right size. He only fetches the right size toys.
Right.
But I had never experienced that.
Whoa, there's a cutscene randomly. Whoa, okay.
Huh? Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, no.
Is this our bestie, Axel? Or is it Ralu?
Oh, no, because he's a puppet.
Oh, right.
We learned that.
Yeah, we learned that Riku
It's not
is
the
a
real
puppet.
Riku.
It's his name in the fandom is Repliku.
No! No way!
Yeah.
Repliku!
Yeah, so that's Repliku.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Repliku, that's hilarious.
It's the best.
Wow. Y'all, you Kingdom Hearts fans are so clever. I love this.
Woo! Look at this Trinity limit we got.
Us fans are clever.
Also went out. Did you see that Trinity limit right
That
now?
was amazing.
We just murdered everybody in this room.
How is it so strong?
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably figure out what the exact numbers are to activate that, but it's a mystery.
That was really strong.
It was really strong.
It's a mystery to us all.
Yes.
We're all equally mystified, and someone in the comments is gonna be like, "This is exactly what it is."
They're gonna be like, you has to add up to this number, and I'll be like, I could have looked that up in the game, but I am lazy and I didn't want to.
Yeah. Let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go.
Do you think we're gonna get to the next part of the story?
Today?
in this episode.
Courage.
We still have to fight Marluxia.
No, I mean like the next like story, like because we just saw Riku,
Oh.
or Repliku.
Oh.
We're gonna get
Oh,
a
maybe.
cutscene, maybe.
You know, maybe. I'm
Do we
not
have
really
to find
sure.
a story room?
Yeah.
Like the next story room is not gonna be a Marluxia fight, is it?
I don't know.
No.
Who's to say?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't do that to me!
Donald.
Go, Donald! Kill him! Good work, buddy.
Y'all can't see, but Gus is trying to escape.
He's inching
so
towards
badly.
the edge. She's like, I'm going to escape that jail.
I can feel.
Gus, I love you.
I
Mwah.
can feel his paws. Like
I love you, perhaps slightly deaf dog right now.
I know.
They say his ear will heal in 2 to 4 weeks, so
he possibly can't hear.
I keep trying to test to see if he can hear, but he ignores me a lot, so it's hard to tell.
He is
Hard to say.
Stubborn.
Oh, you're looking at me like I'm offended you. Can you hear then?
Gus.
Gus! Hey,
Gus.
Gus, look at us! Okay, he like turned his head. But like angrily, he's like, what?
Here's the thing, Gus is a dog that if you are like, Gus, hey Gus, he like purposely won't like, oh now he's looking.
Hello! Hello, my friend.
Meanwhile,
good
Remy
dog.
will look no matter who you're talking
Yeah. Alright, I did another treasure room because
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Treasure!
we got a really good treasure last time.
These
so-
are like really special.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Oh, an elixir.
It's
Elixirs
not
are
as
good.
good, right?
I mean, elixirs
A
are pretty good.
Mushu!
Mushu!
We already have Mushu.
Rah. Alright, here we go.
So we're also looking for another door with the key,
Ah!
with the crown on it.
Yeah, with with this one right here.
Oh yeah, the key.
Yeah, the key.
The
Oh.
key, the claw,
claw.
the key. I wish Kingdom Hearts had those little, because
I know.
technically now it's owned by Disney,
What?
right?
What? Toy Story?
Uh-huh.
It was always Disney Pixar, wasn't it?
Was it?
I thought so.
Maybe. I know it's Pixar,
Yeah,
but I don't know when Disney Pixar.
I think it was always Disney Pixar.
Okay.
Yeah.
The claw.
Yeah,
And why didn't they
we
put
might-
those little things in?
We might see some Toy Story in a future game. Don't forget, there's a lot more games.
No way!
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see Woody
Maybe.
and Jessie.
And Woody might have one of the
Buzz.
best moments in the game.
No way. Does he go, there's a snake in my boot?
I think he does at one point, but that's not the moment.
Oh no. Oh no. I want in 2?
No, not in 2, unfortunately.
So is it a game we're maybe not gonna play?
no, we'll play it eventually.
Okay.
Ah! God.
Because I'm like, if we're not gonna play it, you should tell me.
No, we will get there. We're gonna get through all the games eventually.
All of them?
Yeah.
All 17 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna do it.
game.
Yeah. Some of the games aren't as long.
It'll
as
just
this.
take us to the end of our lives, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You
That thing stunned them.
made
That was
them
cool.
all. Yeah, that was weird.
Gus! Gus, don't escape!
Gus, you must stay.
Woo! Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So powerful.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ooh, we're so good.
Yeah!
Amazing!
I think we're leveling up a lot, probably
I know.
because it knows we need it for Marluxia.
It's like
Yeah.
this poor,
That's why we have to go through so many
poor
rooms.
player. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the last like group of rooms we're gonna do for this part of the game. So
Okay.
I think that's why it's like these are
The
extra hard
last
and
group
extra
of rooms, and we're halfway through the game. I am so
for this
confused.
part of the game.
So confused.
Yeah.
So I think this is the last floor of the.
Oh yeah. Okay, what do I think is gonna happen
Yeah, what do
after
you think
this
is gonna
part?
happen?
Okay, so I feel like there's a couple ways we could go. Okay, I'm gonna give options.
Okay.
Option 1,
Courage.
defeat the organization,
Uh huh.
and then Nominee's free now.
Uh huh.
But now we're like, uh-oh, we've got to find our way back to Riku and Kairi.
Okay.
Where is real Riku?
Ooh, where is real Riku? That's a good
Maybe
question.
we have to find real Riku.
Maybe. Maybe we have to find real Riku.
Option number 2.
This is it.
We discover this is just one faction of the organization. And the whole entire organization is doing something else nefarious somewhere else. And now we have to go find them and fix whatever problems they're causing. Option number 3. At the end of this part, Sora is like, I could take over.
Courage.
Wow, interesting. Interesting.
Option number 4. We go. Sora goes, we need to find Mickey. What about King Mickey? Those are my
Wow. Those are some options.
guesses.
Interesting. I like it. I like the guesses. We're gonna get this treasure.
How
room.
warm am I? Were any of them anywhere close?
No. No. Not exactly. Not quite. But I like
You like the creativity.
the creativity, yes.
Okay, option number 5. Axel
Ooh.
goes, hey man, I need a new bestie. Let's go on adventures together.
Oh.
And then they go off together on an adventure. And that's part 2.
Interesting. Still no.
Okay.
Still quite far off.
Aha. Like, are any of those the start of fan fictions that people
Probably. Not that I've read, but I'm sure they're out there. All right, let's see what this treasure is in here.
Or maybe Axel and Naminé become besties
Oh.
and like go off on adventures together?
Maybe. But maybe not.
Or else Naminé goes,
I don't really.
this was all a part of my evil plan!
I don't really think you're gonna guess what's gonna happen at the end of this game. Super glide!
Whoa!
Whee! I forgot I could glide. So, all right.
I thought we already could do super glide.
We could do regular glide, so it was slower.
No, but I thought we got the Peter Pan like glide.
It was glide, like regular glide.
Oh, got it.
But now we can do super glide.
Super glide.
Super glide. Super glide. Super glide.
Super glide. Okay.
Guess. All right, we're gonna go. to this
Does
door.
regular Riku show up?
Maybe.
Okay. Option number 6.
Mhm.
Regular Riku shows up and goes, "What the heck is this puppet, man? This is weird!" And then Sora's like, "Who are you?"
No.
No. Sora goes, "Okay, there's someone that I kind of remember, but I can't remember her name." And then Riku's like, "No idea who you're talking about." And then like goes like quickly to the island.
Ooh. To get Kyrie for himself.
Yeah.
Oh, because you shipped them.
Well, no, because isn't that his whole thing? Is like he wants to with Kyrie over,
Yeah, it was kind of a thing.
or he's over it. Is he over it?
He's
now?
over it, yeah.
Okay.
I think he's like...
I do not. I feel like I have to say I do not ship Kyrie and Riku.
I ship Sora and Kyrie, as everybody knows. So in my head, Riku was like, oh, they're meant to be, so I'm gonna back off.
He's over her.
Yeah.
Fire.
I don't really ship any of them.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Well, yeah, because you're a grown-up, right?
Well, yeah, but also, I'm like, I just don't feel like they care about each other like that.
Yeah.
Because Sora's kind of like, at the end of game 1, he's kind of like, bye!
No, he has had to leave to go get Riku. We couldn't just leave Riku behind.
Kyrie's like, okay, bye. So I just feel like they're all friends. But it is also because I am encountering this media as an adult and they are all 14.
Yeah. And so when I was 14, I was like, they're in love.
Yeah.
But a lot of people also ship Riku and Sora. So.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was.
Yeah, so that's fine. Personally, I love Kyrie, so.
Here's the thing about me that, people might not know. I am a person that just because a character is like evil, like I might be like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, look, like that it's not their fault.
Right.
Like they.
Yeah. I
Courage.
I understand.
Except like in the Hunger Games.
Oh.
Like there was no part where I was like, oh, President Snow.
Oh my god, we have to read that
I know,
the
we have to
prequel.
do that. We're gonna do that.
Because it's gonna come out soon.
But are we reading the first books first? No, we're starting with the prequel.
We don't have
and
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a movie!
Oh, we have to see
Yeah, so we have to read the book. Okay, so there's like a new Hunger Games book that came out a while ago. It's a prequel. And so I was like not interested at all. Because I'm like, I do not care about
Who cares about
President
President
Snow as a child.
hate
Like,
him.
yeah, he sucks. And so I was like, whatever. But it looks as if, because I thought that they were going to try and make him like sympathetic. And I was like, I do not.
I'm not interested in
I do
playing
not
that
want to
game.
sympathize with President Snow. But then the trailer for the movie came out recently, and I saw it on TikTok, and it seems like, no, he's just evil the whole time is what it was looking like. So I'm like, okay, I'm into that. So yeah.
I
Now we're
think
gonna
I
read
thought the prequel was not that far in the past also,
yeah,
so I
it's
think
real
I was sort
far
of
in
just
the
like,
past.
but now I'm very interested.
Yeah. We're gonna read it with two of our friends,
Yeah.
Rochelle and Reagan. We were waiting for Rochelle, I think, to finish the book. And
Which
then
I feel
think
like-
she did.
See, okay.
Yeah.
On the scale of villain apologist,
You think Rochelle is more of a villain?
Rochelle. Okay, I feel like so. This is you. You're
Yeah.
like not a villain apologist.
I mean, yeah. You mean
You're
yeah.
one end.
Mhm.
And then Rochelle, I feel like is the other side of the
yeah.
pendulum,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like Rochelle would even say that.
Yes.
I'm gonna text her after this
Yes.
and be like, I feel like we talked about this.
Yes.
And then I feel like I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Like I think it depends
Yeah,
on
I would agree
the
with
villain, and I think it depends on the circumstances.
Yeah.
And like with the first game, everyone was like, Sarah's a Riku apologist. I'm like, he's a child. Of course I feel bad for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
he's 16 or something.
15. Yeah.
15. Like, he makes mistakes. We're supposed to forgive,
Right. I
everyone made
understand.
mistakes at 15. But like, yeah, it depends. So I feel like I'm more like,
Yeah.
and then our other friend who's reading with us, I don't know where she lies on that pendulum.
I
Maybe
think
by
she's
me.
more.
Or what about you?
I think she's between the two of us.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Because I do feel like Erica's like, no.
You know, listen, if there's a villain that I think can be redeemed, then I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But if it's just like he's a bad guy, I'm like, no. Like when people for Harry Potter, for instance, also trans lives matter. Let's just say that
Yes.
right out of the way. So in Harry Potter, there's a lot of Snape apologists, and I, for one, feel that when a teacher is the greatest fear of a student, is Neville's greatest fear. Like the boggart turns into Snape. That is not cool. That's some trauma. And
That's
Neville
more about Neville at that time.
because Neville's parents were tortured by Death Eaters and are forever changed. Forever
I
in a...
hear
And yet,
you.
Snape is his biggest fear. And I'm like,
But
Snape
hear
has
me
been
out.
so awful to this child.
Now, or
No.
hear me out. Or at that time, did Neville need a little bit more of a backbone?
Okay, I feel like you're blaming the victim there a little bit. Like, no.
Okay, but
And everyone's like, oh, well, he was in love with Lily. He stalked Lily. She was like, excuse me, you called me a racial slur and I want nothing to do with you. And then he was like, how dare you not end up with me? Incel behavior, honestly. So
no, that's not okay,
No.
100%. But I feel like acting as like a double agent.
sure.
Like I feel like that he gets like a little bit of credit, right? And he like saved Harry so many times.
I mean, while also being like,
I'm
I
not
fucking
saying
hate
that like
Sorry.
none of what he's done is wrong.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like
Right. Uh-huh.
like does any like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
And also like, you know, Draco Malfoy.
well, Draco, I think, is one of the instances where like he was a child, and so I can see him being redeemed, and so I'm like, cool, yeah, I'm on board with him. He was a
He's
kid.
fully redeemed.
He was a kid
man.
who was in, he was
he
in
couldn't-
an environment where he really didn't know any better. you
And
know?
also like
parents
his
are awful.
life was at
His life
stake
was horrible.
as a child.
His life was at stake. He was in a bad situation. And I think by the end of the series, he has proven himself to not be a monster.
Back off.
He's just a kid.
Yeah.
He was a brat. He was a bully, for sure.
Someone who is an irredeemable monster and we personally hate is J.K. Rowling. So.
Oh, yes. Oh, my
So,
God.
We should just say that.
Serious- Yes, we should say that.
Irredeemable villain.
God, like,
Who we
most,
personally hate.
most tragic twist of my life.
I know.
Literally went from being like, she is my idol, to what the goddamn hell?
Like,
Just, what are you doing? Please shush.
please just
Just
go away
stop.
forever.
Just live in your castle. God.
go away.
Go away. So
yeah.
that was a real tragedy.
That's a villain that
world.
neither of us.
No, she's the true villain of
So
the story.
honestly,
Turns
seriously,
out, she's,
It turns out
you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. Oh.
and that's
Yeah.
the villain.
Mhm. Yeah. Sad.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other villains that like I would be like, oh, you know, in The Hobbit.
Oh, where are you going with this? Okay, in The Hobbit.
Back off.
You know, how like Threadjewel like holds the
Okay, yeah.
I'm fine with it. Whatever, they got out.
Yeah, I can't. Which one is it, Thranduil again?
The elf one.
Oh, yeah.
Legolas's dad.
Oh, right, he's hot.
Like,
Yeah. Well,
and then he like actively like he refused aid to them.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of.
But he helps him at the end.
He does. He's like.
So he's redeemable.
Yeah, he redeems himself a little bit.
Kind of.
He's whatever. He's
He's
fine.
like maybe
I'll
a
give it a
jerk, but
pass.
you're like,
I'll give it a pass.
I'm trying to think of like other villains like that we would be like that we wouldn't necessarily agree on if they're
Yeah.
redeemable or not. I can't even think of any.
Either.
Okay, here's a question.
Yes.
Gale.
Oh, in the Hunger Games? Hate Gale.
You're over Gale forever.
No, you suck. He committed war crimes. You commit war crimes. It's hard to come back from that.
Okay, he did commit war crimes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Also, he was like so clingy. He's like Jacob in
Ugh.
Twilight. Who? Okay, I will say, when
Irredeemable.
all the books weren't out yet, I was a Team Jacob.
No way!
Because I didn't realize he was gonna be such a dick.
Irredeemable monster!
Yes, I know. Okay, but I also was like, Edward is creepy. So I was kind of like,
I don't think I read. I can't remember if I read the last book or not.
I only read
I think
half
I
of it, and then
only read the first.
I DNF'd. That's like
I
one of the
don't
only
think I
books I've
read
ever
the
done that
last.
way.
So I think at the end, because I did see all the movies, and I watched them like with friends. Like I didn't watch it in the theaters. I watched them with friends. And when he's like imprints on the baby.
Oh my god.
I think I literally was like, what?
Yes, that's what I said when I was reading the book. Okay, so you want to hear about my Twilight saga?
Yeah.
All right. So, when I was in high school, prime age for Twilight, I was going on a vacation to my grandparents' house up in Washington. And usually my whole family would go, so it would be like my sister and I would hang out. But my sister was trying out for like the varsity tennis team that year, and it was the same, like the tryouts were that same week, so she couldn't go. And so really everybody on that island is just like,
Yeah.
and so if there's no other person my age with me, it's like, well, what do I do the whole time?
Right, what do I do?
It's kind of boring. And so I was like kind of bummed. And so on the way up, it was my dad and I were going to see my grandparents. My mom was staying with me. And so my dad was reading the newspaper and he was like, hey, there's an article in here about some young adult series that is taking off right now. And there are like 2 of the books out. And it takes place in Washington. So maybe we could go to the bookstore when we get there and you can read them. And I was like, awesome, that sounds fun. So we went to the little island bookstore and I got the first 2. And I was in the environment of like when they were describing all the trees around. I was like, it's right near me. And I was like, wow. And so I got really addicted to it, like really into it. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. So go back to school. And I'm at an all-girls school. And I'm like, you guys, this is a new series that I've discovered and it's the best thing in the whole world. And everyone's like, okay. Everyone gets obsessed with it, of course, because it's all teenage girls. And everyone's like, this is amazing. So 3rd book comes out, we're all like super into it, love it.
Let's go.
Then, so after reading the 3rd book, I'm still pretty into it. But there's like a little piece of me, because I had been Team Jacob, and Jacob in the 3rd book is not good. And so part of me was like, what's going on here? This is a Jacob guy. And so the 4th book came out.
Courage.
And I was excited for it. So excited that I had ordered the book, but then Amazon or whoever was delivering it wasn't going to deliver it for like 3 days, so I went to the bookstore and got a second copy.
Okay.
So that I could get it the day up.
Yeah.
So I started reading it. And we got to the part where Jacob imprints on the baby. We got to the part where Jacob imprints on the baby, and I was like, excuse me? Also, those chapters were in Jacob's point of view, which the whole book has been in first person for Bella up until then.
Right.
And so then seeing Bella from another point of view, I was like, oh, she's really annoying. Which I hadn't like realized.
Yeah.
When it was like her, you get her thoughts.
Yeah. You're like on her side.
Yeah, and so I'm like, she kind of sucks. And then he imprints, and I remember like staring at the wall for a second and being like, what just happened? Like, no, because that's the end of his perspective. Then it goes back to Bella's. And then she like names the baby. And it's Renesmee.
And
I put the book, I read that sentence like 3 times. And I set the book down. And I stared at the wall and I was like, do I want to continue?
Do I want to continue with Renesmee?
And I was like, I gotta push through. And maybe it'll get better. And then it was like, I was getting close to the end, but there was only one character that I liked anymore at this point in the book, and it was Alice. And I was like, I'm only reading this for Alice. And then Alice dips, and she's like, leaves a note for Bella, and she's like, later, I'm peacing out. And I was like, great. So I threw my book across the room, hit the wall, and I was like, that's where I'm done. And I never read the rest. And I know what happens because it's been so long. It's like such a, big thing. And it just, everyone else in my school, though, was still so into it after the fourth book. They were like, oh my god, it's amazing. And I was like, was it though? Or was it awful? And everyone was like, you were the one that started this. And I'm like, I know, but I think I've grown up. I've grown past it now. And everyone was like, Erica, what are you talking about? This was your thing. And I'm like, I made a mistake.
I made a mistake. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. So, yeah, that's my Twilight saga.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was a real trendsetter though. I got people into things in my school. So pretty proud of me.
I was never a
Pretty proud of myself. I mean, I was only a trendsetter with these specific things. With Twilight and then also Fruit Basket. I got everybody into it. Those are my 2 claims to fame.
Wow.
I kind of Oron High School
I was like super into Twilight when I first read stuff.
Yeah, you know, we were the prime age.
And like,
and again, I don't know about you, but I had like no experience with real life boys.
no.
And so I was like,
This
this
romance.
is dreamy. Yeah,
No,
this
I
is
was
what
like,
romance
wow,
is.
he loves her.
Yeah, he loves her so much.
And then now I'm like, I'm sorry, you sat in her bedroom?
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm sorry, you watched her sleep?
okay.
I'm sorry, you were 118 years old? Ah! No, yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely,
Don't
like,
love it.
or however old he was.
Also, it's so weird that it's like this adopted family and
That
they're all
gets
dating
together.
each other.
And you know what else is weird?
Like,
That Carlisle
oh,
was
weird.
like, oh, you think this? He would be like, hey, Rosalie.
You wanna get with this boy? Let's
Or
adopt him.
Didn't he like? Who was turned first? Rosalie. or-
Rosalie was turned first.
And
I
so
think.
then Edward he turned because he hoped that Rosalie would get with him.
Oh no. Edward was turned first,
Okay.
and then
They found Rosalie.
I was thinking between Rosalie and Emmett. I know Rosalie was turned first because then she found Emmett.
She
dying,
found Emmett.
and she was
right,
like,
right.
"He smells
And
delicious."
I feel like they basically like only turned people that they were gonna be like,
Yeah.
these people are gonna date now.
Yeah, they're like they would only turn people that they wanted to have sex with.
So uncomfortable. Like looking back, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like okay, toxic, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know what is so?
And the wolves all being able to hear each other's thoughts.
Oh my god, so.
Ah!
And then there's like a one girl wolf it's never happened before, and then everyone can hear her thoughts about her like period and like her crushes, and it's like horrifying. I'm like, oh my god.
And also she had a crush on the.
She had a crush on one of them, and it's like, oh god, this is the worst thing that's ever happened.
Leah.
Yeah, poor
God.
Leah.
I'm like,
Poor Leah.
Yikes.
Oh god.
Yikers.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. And also, like, I haven't read it, but I heard like that one book came out that was like in Edward.
Oh yeah. So I haven't read it either, but I've seen like video essays about it.
And I'm like, yikes. Sometimes you just gotta leave something alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like after a certain amount of time, the fans and or fan fiction writers should get a vote.
Yes. Yeah.
That the author should just say, hey y'all, I have this idea, what do you think? And then the fan fiction writers can veto it.
Okay, unless I'm remembering this incorrectly, I have a friend who, I'm pretty sure it was Twilight, back when it was being written, Stephanie Myers had like an online like fan club, and she would like
Ask
get
them?
input from people. Yeah. And I
And
feel
take
like
their advice.
sometimes. And then I'm trying to remember the whole story. It was like at first she was like really nice to everybody, and then it was like I don't want to slander her, but I remember there being something where my friend, where my friend was like, she started getting like really, snippy, like really aggressive with her like fan club, and I don't know. I could be misremembering. This is all hearsay from me. But yeah, so I think she did like take
Feedback.
feedback into account at one moment in time.
Huh.
Interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah. I feel like as an author, once I have my own book, I'm not sure that I would do that.
take feedback from
Yeah.
I think
Just because I feel like people might have really good ideas, but
it's not
it's
not by
not a
committee.
collaborative. Yeah, it's not a collaborative thing. And
Yeah, I think like
Heal.
I think like the best part about creating an awesome world is the fact that then people can write fan fiction off of
Yeah.
it, and like sometimes the fan fiction is like better than the original.
yeah,
And
I love fanfiction. Oh my
yeah.
god! When I publish my book, I am so excited for there to be fanfiction about it.
like I feel like it's
please
such an honor
write
if people
fanfiction
are writing
about my
fan
stuff.
fiction about your
Yes.
stuff. But so it always like baffles me when authors are like,
Yeah, that's
this
so
belongs
weird to me.
to me.
Oh my
Don't
God.
write. And I'm like, but
Right?
their ideas are better than yours.
Yeah, and also, like, shouldn't you be like, I would be so flattered that something I created, a world I invented, was so inspiring to someone that they would use so many hours of their life.
Free
that they're-
time, for free.
time. Yeah, they're not getting paid. And just to create, because fanfiction, as someone who writes fanfiction, is a big time commitment. It's not something that you can
Yeah.
just, do, like, in 5 minutes. It's
Right.
like a big commitment.
Right. Especially like for the fan fiction that you've written
Oh, yeah.
so long.
It's so long. Yeah.
It's not just like a one shot.
Yeah. So I love fanfiction a lot. I think it gets a little iffy when it's like 50 Shades of Grey, where it
Where
was a
she, like,
fanfiction
published
that then
it.
it became
Yeah.
a thing. But
She changed
even
it
so,
enough.
yeah, it's like it was an AU. It's not like if they had still been vampires,
Right,
you know,
right,
then
right,
it's
right.
like
It was
that's
changed
weird.
enough, I think.
Yeah, that it's just like it's still. I think it's still fine. Like, and again, it's still just like inspired
I do
someone.
have to say though, the fact that 50 Shades was fanfiction from Twilight
He's so funny.
is so funny, and also very clearly shows how not good of a job Edward was portraying. If that's where we got to,
Yeah. Yeah. So.
and that was supposed to be in character for him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We're leveling up so much. Do I want more CP or more HP?
maybe CP.
Then we'll do HP next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, should we end the episode there with
Yeah!
that great talk about Twilight? Sorry to everyone who hates Twilight. I mean, we weren't praising Twilight.
I don't love it like now.
No, now I'm like,
Yeah, but like when I first read it,
Yeah,
we were
were
impressionable
teenagers.
and
you're
young.
a teenage girl.
And yeah, I had never had I had only had zero like romantic experience.
Yeah, right? And
So at the time, I was like, this is love.
yeah,
They're in love.
they're in love.
And I think, okay. I think the appeal, because I think we're not the only humans in the world that
No.
felt this way
No.
when we first read it.
Uh-huh.
I think the appeal for people who were young,
Uh-huh.
and I think there's like now, the fact that he's an immortal being
Oh, yeah.
is like, and she's 17, you're like,
Yeah.
ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
But at the time.
But at the time, it was like, oh, she's so special.
Uh-huh.
And like, I think everyone in life wants to feel special.
Also, when you're a teenager, you feel like you're a grown-up. And you're
feel
like,
you're a grown up.
you want to be like, I am independent. And,
and
like,
you
Bella...
you feel like I'm special and no one sees me.
Yes. And Bella is really like, she's forced to be pretty independent in the book because like
Yeah.
her mom is, you know,
Not present.
not present, and then her dad is also working all the time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's
It,
like,
doesn't get her. And I
Yeah.
think when you're, especially when you're a teenager, I think a lot of people have a feeling nobody gets me.
yeah.
Nobody understands me.
So it really hit a lot of those.
I think it hits.
No.
So I think like in retrospect, obviously we're
Yeah.
like, yikes, this is bad.
Yeah.
But I think like at the time when we were engaging with the media,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, I think there was 100% like a part of, like, Bella's so annoying.
Yeah.
But at the
so
time, there was a part of me that was like,
That's me.
that's me.
Yeah.
I'm also,
You know
people
what?
don't understand me.
And also, I was annoying, so.
I also was annoying. So, I guess we did see ourselves.
Yeah.
But, like, also,
Well,
like,
it's just kind of a blank slate on purpose, so
Right,
that
right,
you
right.
are like, that's me.
right. And, like, now, the fact that she, like, kind of went into a coma because she was broken up with. You're like, oh.
You're like, oh, girl, come
What's
on.
this lesson we're
Yeah.
teaching? But again, at the time, you're like, this is what heartbreak must feel like.
Yes.
Especially if you haven't had heartbreak
Yes.
yet. And you just, like, I don't know. I feel like in our society, we're raised on, like, romance movies.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us have expectations, even now, I think. Like, I think a lot of us have expectations of, like, what love is.
Yeah.
That were given to us by, like, books and movies.
Yes.
And so, like,
Yeah. Well, and I remember, okay, so that part of the book where she's like, so depressed, is like memed on a lot now. But I remember at the time when I was reading it, and you turn the pages just like September,
Yes.
October,
Yeah.
November, as you're turning the pages, and I remember being like, I've never seen a book do this before. This is revolutionary.
So cool.
Wow. And,
Yeah.
also, after, now that I'm older and I have been through, like, depressive episodes, I'm like, it kind of does feel like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as much as people make fun of that part, I do still kind of think it was a
reality to it.
it was a very cool artistic thing that
Yes.
she did in that part of the book.
Yes. And I think there is like an emotional reality to, like, I think not everything. Sometimes when you're portraying how something feels,
Uh-huh.
it's not the same as how it appears in real life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are times when, like, you are going through heartbreak or you are going through something and it feels like either no time is passing or time is passing without you realizing it at all.
Yes.
And
yeah.
like later when you're out of that state, you might look back and be like, oh, that was
I was
just-
being crazy.
that
I
was like,
being
yeah, that
dramatic.
was just my perception of the time.
Mhm.
But when you're in it,
Yes.
it can feel like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I really like cool visual things that people do in books. Like I have one thing that I'm gonna do in my book, and it's like a visual, I don't know, kind of artistic thing that I do with one chapter. I'm trying to figure out how to do it for the audiobook, and I have some ideas, but because I feel like it should have the same effect for audio, but I have
I'm
ideas.
excited, I'm
We'll
excited.
see what I do, but I like that. So I always thought that was really cool.
I also feel like we don't all feel things the same way.
Yes.
Like I feel, and maybe this is because we're actors, and you can tell me if you feel this way too, but I feel like I feel things really powerfully.
Oh yeah.
And things that other people are like sadness feels like this. I'm like, not for me.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that feeling differently than you feel that feeling.
Yes,
And
yeah.
that's very valid, but I also think that is what makes it so, like, especially for teenagers who their brains are still developing, like, when people are like, ugh, so angsty. It's like, but that's how it feels.
Yeah, you are angsty.
That is how it feels. It feels like life or death sometimes.
Hello, my friend. Mwah,
Oh.
thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Hello. Did you just wake up from a nap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I woke up just in time for the end of the episode.
Sneezed in my mouth. Ah. Alright, let's end the episode there. Thanks for watching.
Bye!